This is my sketch illustration of Jinu Saja from the K-pop Demon Hunters, and today I'm going to guide you through each of the steps that I use so that you can draw this yourself. So grab a pencil and paper and let's get started. Welcome back everyone, and thanks for joining me today. For this lesson, I'm going to start off with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. Now if you don't have a mechanical pencil, anything you have around the house will work just fine. Let's begin by setting up a drawing with a series of guidelines to help with the balance and symmetry. So we start in the center page with a straight line. Starting from the very top, just going to lightly work our way down the middle. Just using these short lines. Just pull this pencil down towards us. Now I'm going to go all the way back up to the top and draw another line going across from left to right. And these two lines are going to help us create a circle along the top of our page to define the size of the head. Now from that center point, we're going to move up towards the top of our page right about here. Just going to mark off the top of our circle. Let's measure this distance from the center down towards the bottom. Do the same thing. And we can repeat that across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center towards the left and then towards the right. And then we're going to connect the center point of each mark with a curve to create this circle. So let's start with the top left. I'm just going to loosely work our way around, and the circle doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just using this as a guide. We can go all the way back around and just smooth this out as best we can. Let's add another set of guidelines coming down from the side of our circle. So we'll start with the left. Stretch this all the way down towards the bottom. Do the same thing on the right. And we'll add one more line across the bottom of our circle. Now with our circle and guidelines in place, let's start blocking out the key facial features. Now we want to tilt the head forward so the eyes will sit along that bottom line. So from that center, we're going to move over toward the left, right about here. Just going to mark off the inside corner of the eye. And we'll measure that same distance over towards the right and do the same thing. Now from this point, we're just going to angle the inside of the eye, going up and then out with a short line. And then from here, it's going to slope the eyelid, going up and then out towards the outside line. From the outside, I want to step in, angle the side of the eye, coming down and in. Just balance this out, so it's the same length. And then pull that back in towards the inside. Let's extend this line going up along the inside of the eyebrows. And then just up above the eye, we're going to slope the eyebrow, going up and then out. Let's step up. Just going to taper this so it gets thicker as it's going towards the outside. From the inside corner of the eyebrows, let's slope this down and in towards the bridge of the nose. And then from here, we're going to draw two straight lines coming down along the side. Now, I want to take a step back and just locate the bottom edge of the nose. So right about here, I'm just going to draw a short line going across. From that center point, let's draw an upside down triangle, going up and then out toward the left and right. And we'll close that off. Now you can readjust the placement of the nose after. From the tip of the nose, let's step down, draw a straight line going across the mouth, all the way out toward the outside. From the mouth, we're going to step all the way down, locate the chin right about here, draw another straight line going across. And I'm going to add some shape to the outside of the head. Let's start from the left side of our circle. It's going to curve this down around the eye and then in towards the jaw. Now the jaw sits along that mouth line. Do the same thing on the right, coming down and in. I'm just going to change the angle, coming down and then in towards the chin. Now I might want to come back and just make the chin a little bit longer. From the jaw, let's draw two straight lines coming down the side of the neck towards the shoulders. Step up, slope the shoulders, coming down and then out on either side. Now we're going to go back up to the top. Let's add some shape to the ears. We're going to follow this eyebrow line along the side of the head, going up and then out. Let's come straight down. And then we'll angle this down and then in towards the side of the head. Let's take the center line, step up, draw the edge of the hairline. Draw a straight line going all the way across. Now from the center point, I'm going to curve the hair going up and then out toward the left. Let's bring this down, go across the outside corner of the eye, and then out towards the ear. Let's go back to the center, curve this around. We're going to add a strand of hair coming down in between the eyes. Bend this back up towards the top. Now right here, it's going to sweep the hair, coming across on top of the eye and then out towards the ear. Let's go back to this point. We're going to curve the part in the hair going out and then up towards the top. Now from the circle, we're going to step up, angle the hair going up and out towards the left, spin this up and across towards the right. Now we want to add some volume to the hair. Let's start back on the left, going out and then down, spin this down and then in towards the side of the head. Let's go over towards the right side, bend this across, go all the way down on the side, bend this down and back in. Now that you have the basic composition of the head, let's go back and erase some of these guidelines, and we'll get a better look at our proportions. Now once we clean up our drawing, I'm going to go back and use this rough sketch as a guide to help us layer on some more details and refine the shapes. Now I want to start with the overlapping parts first. So that'll be the hair bangs. Let's start from the very top in the middle. I'm going to brush this across and then out. Round this out. Sweep the hair coming down. Just adding a little bit more darkness and contrast to our drawing. Sweep this across and then out. Let's add some texture of hair along the ends. So we're going to just add a few points going across and up. Let's add another section coming across and up along the side of the head. Let's go back up to the top. We're going to add some texture, just sweeping the hair across. Let's come down. Add a little bit of texture along the bottom, some points going up. And just working our way across towards the right. So we're going to separate the hair. These little points coming across and then out. Now let's go and start adding some definition to the eyes. So add some thickness across the top of the eyelid. Work our way out in behind the hair. And go thicker along the top of the eyelid. I also want to add a little bit of a fold across the top of the eye. Just fade that across. And we'll just work our way across the bottom of the eye. Do the same thing on the right. Again, starting out thicker across the top and then tapering that down. And a little bit of shading underneath the eyes. Now we're going to tuck the iris and pupil underneath the eyelid. So from this point, let's curve the inside, coming around and then out. I'm just going to lightly place these in first to make sure that we get the right placement. Let's draw the outside edge, coming around and then in. Now take a step back, make sure that they're placed correctly, and go back and add some contrast. So on the left side, add a small circle for a highlight. I'm just going to lightly trace the inside for the pupils. You want to go in behind that highlight. Let's go in and just darken up the inside of the pupils. Want to make sure that we go in behind that highlight. And we're going to darken up the top of the iris and then fade that down. So it's a lighter tone going around the pupil. And by fading it down towards the bottom, we create a little bit of a glare. Now I'm going to add some shape to the eyebrows. Start with the outside perimeter first. A little bit of texture along the inside. Some more shape along the top. Let's darken up the eyebrows. Start from the outside. And then fading that in. Now I'm going to go back and just lightly clean up our drawing before we go any further. Let's continue across the nose, starting in the center with that curve, going up and then out toward the nostrils, and then down. And I'm just going to darken up the top of the nostrils and then fade that down. To the side of the nose going up. I'm just going to pull this down and in lightly. And again, just going back in, just doing a light cleanup. Now with the mouth, we're going to start with the top edge first, going across with a slight bend, and we'll curl up the corners of the mouth, going up toward the left, right about there, and then the right side. Let's open up the mouth, coming down, round this out, and then go back up. Let's add the top row teeth with a slight curve going across the middle. It'll darken up the inside of the mouth. Now with the upper lip, start with a light curve in the center, go across, and then out towards the side. Let's draw on the lower lip. We're going to start with the middle, locate the bottom, curve this around, and then up toward the left and right side. Then we're going to do another light cleanup. Then I'm going to move to the side edge of my pencil and lightly shade the upper lip. And then the lower lip, starting darker along the side, and we'll fade that in. Now going to the outside, we're going to add a little bit more shape to the head. I'm going a little bit thicker along the top, going a little bit thinner across the jawline. Just going to round out the jaw, and then pull this down towards the chin. And I'm making sure that the distance from the bottom of the chin to the lower lip is correct. Go back and just add a little more hair brushed over the ears. Now it's going to add some shape to the ears. So I'm just going to round out that point, come down the side, and then in towards the earlobe. I'm just going to layer the earring on top. So start with a half circle, and trace that along the inside, and we'll just tuck the ear in behind. I'm going to add a fold across the top of the ear. Another earring on the right side. And then again, we're just going to add those folds. Now separate that part, going darker across the bottom with that line, and then tapering that up towards the top. Now I want to treat the hair in sections. So we're going to start with that front section on the left side. So let's add that seam going up and then out. Again, going thicker along the inside. Bending this across and then fading that down. Let's add another section, starting up here in the middle, up and out. And just fade that out towards the side. And we'll just continue our way up towards the top. Add a wisp of hair coming out on the side, some points. Right here, I'm just going to add a sweep going up past the side of the head on the right. Add some texture and just bend that back in. just going to work our way down across the neck towards the shoulders. Now using the shoulders as a guide, we're going to layer the collar on top. So let's start over on the left side. Bend this down and then in towards the bottom of our page. Now on the right side, we're going to overlap the collar on top of the neck. So we're just going to bend this in, curve this around, and then down. Let's add some detail to that collar. Just going to flip this around, come down, bend that out, bend this up. Now I'm just going to tuck this in towards the side of the neck, across the back. Let's go over towards the left side, going up. Just going to flare this one out, bend this up, and then in. Now I'm going to switch to a thicker pencil. This is my 0.9mm. I'm just going to add some more contrast and definition to our contour lines. So that's the outline around our drawing. Now with the placement of our shadows, we always want to locate the light source. So in this instance, I want to place it along the top left side, going across our character in a slight angle, so the shadows sit along the bottom right edge and the highlights along the top. So I want to add a hard edge along the outside. So start on top left eye, add a light line coming in across the side of the nose bridge. Go to the outside. Now this hair is going to cast a shadow going out and then lightly down. And then inside that shadow area, just going to lightly shade that in. Then along the outside, go dark along the top, and then fade that down. We do the same thing on the right side, going up towards the eye, go around the outside and then down, lightly shade the inside. Shade the inside of the ears. And the nose is also going to cast a shadow down towards the mouth. So starting from the left side, we're going to angle this down. Again, sloping this over towards the right, and then go up towards the side, and then lightly shade that in. Now this long hair bang is going to cast a shadow across the forehead, going up, then in, and then lightly shade that in. A little bit more shadow underneath the hair. Now the head's also going to cast a shadow across the neck. So again, starting on the left side, bend this across towards the chin, and again, just pulling this up and out towards the right. And we'll shade the inside. Now for the hair, I can move to the side edge of my 2mm pencil and add some more texture across the bottom. So we're just going to sweep this up and then fade that out towards the top. Now by using this method, we create this nice little highlight in the center of the hair where it bends. Bring that up, and then from the center, brush this out. Do the same thing over on the right, from the center. And lightly add that texture of stripes inside the shirt. Now, as we get closer to the end, I'm just going to tighten up our shadows and details, and always be sure to sign our artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of Jinu Saja from the K-pop Demon Hunters. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, you might want to check out this video over here. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.